Wouldn't it be scary if one day you just woke up and someone in your life was missing? It would be pretty scary not having any answers, not knowing where they went, what happened to them, and not having any closure. Sadly, that is the reality that tons of families have had to face, as many people have mysteriously disappeared off the face of the earth. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 scary times people disappeared. Starting off this countdown, we have Cherry Mayhem. On February 22nd, 1985, 8-year-old Cherry disappeared after traveling home from school in Butler County, Pennsylvania. Cherry was last seen getting off her school bus around 4:10 p.m. Her bus stop is only 50 feet from her house, but she never made it home. After investigating her disappearance, witnesses have reported seeing a blue van trailing the bus. The van had a mountain and skier painted on the side of it, but nobody saw Cherry go near the van or even enter it. Cherry's case has been investigated for around 34 years now, but there have been no other leads besides this van. On top of that, the van has never been found, nor has anyone been a main person of interest. As a result, Cherry's disappearance still remains a mystery. Moving on at number 9, we have Jim Sullivan. Jim Sullivan was a 35-year-old musician when he disappeared on a solo road trip in 1975. He left Los Angeles and planned to go to Nashville in search of more work. It was said that he checked into La Mez Hotel in Santa Rosa, New Mexico, but he never slept there. The next day, he was spotted at a remote ranch. There, his car was found abandoned, containing money, his guitar, and clothes. He was last seen walking away from the ranch. People think that he wandered away and got lost and then died, whereas other people think that he was abducted by aliens. I mean, in 1969, he released an album titled UFO, so people believe that he was trying to get in contact with aliens. In our 8th spot, we have Lester Eubanks. So I talked about Lester before, as he is one of the individuals who managed to escape capital punishment. How? Well, he disappeared without a trace. In 1965, Lester was convicted of the murder of a young girl named Mary Ellen Diener. As a result, he was sentenced to the death penalty. However, the Supreme Court changed their mind, saying the death penalty was unconstitutional. As a result, he was sentenced to life in prison. A couple years later, since Lester was so well behaved, they let him go Christmas shopping. Obviously with the law enforcement keeping a close eye on him. So on December 7th, 1973, he went Christmas shopping. And that was the last time he was ever seen. He disappeared. To this day, this criminal is still out there. Somewhere. No one knows where he went. Moving on, in our 7th spot, we have Danielle Timbo and Richard Patron Jr. This next disappearance is said to be the most mysterious missing persons case on the East Coast of the United States. On February 19, 2005, Danielle Timbo, 34, and Richard Patron Jr., 35, were out drinking at a bar with some friends. At 11:30, it was said that the couple left the bar and headed to Danielle's home. That was the last time they were ever seen. At first, people thought that the couple just ran off together, but they both had children and wouldn't just abandon them. Police thought that Imbo's ex-husband had something to do with this disappearance, as he has gotten in fights with Richard before. But apparently he had a solid alibi and there was no evidence pointing towards him. Other people think that someone hired a hit on them. Either way, they have never been found. Coming in at number 6, we have Claude and Martha Sue Shelton. The disappearance of this couple is said to be one of the most bizarre unsolved vanishing cases. On May 21st, 1971, in Corbin, Kentucky, Claude Shelton and his wife, Martha Sue Shelton, left their children sleeping and headed out. They never returned home. No one knows why they left. People claim that they loved their children and wouldn't just abandon them. But Sheila, their daughter, claims that her father whispered to her, and I quote, "Are you going with me or are you going to stay here?" before her parents left home forever. The couple, nor their vehicle, have ever been found. Months later, a body that appeared to look like Martha was found. But years later, when DNA samples were taken, it turned out that it wasn't her. As a result, this mystery is still unsolved. People think that they were killed or they got involved with the wrong people. But there are no leads and no clues to why this happy couple just left. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the lighthouse keepers. So I did mention this case before, but it's so eerie and mysterious that I just couldn't help but include it on this list. In December of 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers in Flannan Islands vanished without a trace. After a ship arrived and no lighthouse keepers came out to greet them, the captain knew that something was up. Upon searching the lighthouse, they came across a couple of odd things. First off, the lighthouse door was left unlocked. 2 jackets were missing, but one of the keeper's jackets was still there. Food was left uneaten, a chair was knocked over, and the weirdest part, the kitchen clock had stopped working. The time was just frozen. On top of all this, there were also very strange entries in the lighthouse logs. It was written down that the principal lighthouse keeper, James, was oddly quiet, and that the other assistant, William, was crying. On December 15th, someone wrote, "A storm ended. Sea calm. God is over all." Don't know what that means. But there were no reported storms in the area until December 17th. So there are a couple of theories surrounding this disappearance. The most common one was that the men were trying to secure a crane and then they were blown over the cliff, or that a wave washed them out to sea. But people say that this doesn't add up, since why would one man not wear his coat outside in the freezing weather while doing this task? Also, these men were said to be very experienced, and they wouldn't try to do anything near the cliffs if the weather was bad. Another theory suggests that the men were killed or even kidnapped by aliens. But what truly happened is still unknown. In our fourth spot, we have Aisha Degree. On February 14, 2000, 19-year-old Aisha Degree disappeared from her home in the middle of the night. Her mother noticed that she was missing at 6:30 a.m. that morning. A bag had been packed with a bunch of her clothes and belongings. All the windows in the home were locked, so police believed that Aisha left on her own free will. But her mom claims that she was shy and well behaved. She wouldn't just run off like that. It was thought that she left her home around 2 a.m., which is weird because there was a thunderstorm that very night. On top of that, several motorists claimed to have seen Aisha walking down the highway in the morning. One stopped to ask if she was okay and she ran into the woods. In the woods, the police found candy wrappers and her hair clips. Over the years, her book bag was found at a construction site, but Aisha was never found. People think that she was being groomed by someone the family knew. This individual might have convinced her to run away with them, but there have been no leads. In our third spot, we have Madison Scott. On May 28, 2011, 20-year-old Madison Scott disappeared from the Hogs Back Lake campsite in British Columbia. There was a birthday party being held at the lake and people were going to camp out there, but they didn't follow through with that plan. Maddie, however, already set up her tent and was planning on staying the night there. She was said to have been an experienced camper and she had camped out in that area numerous times before. However, she was last seen at 4 a.m. when the last group of people left. The next morning, people were cleaning up when they saw her tent beside her truck, but Maddie was nowhere to be found. Police had dragged the bottom of the lake and aerial searches were conducted, but nothing ever turned up. Police even did polygraph tests on the partygoers, but it led to no possible suspects. Police think that Maddie left the campsite in someone's vehicle, but besides theories, no one really knows what happened to her. Coming in at number 2, we have Edward and Stephania Andrews. On May 15th, 1970, the 63-year-old couple, Andrew and Stephania Andrews, went to a cocktail party at the Sheridan Hotel in Chicago, Illinois. At around 9:30, Edward reportedly said he wasn't feeling well. People claimed that he looked pretty pale and ill, but Edward reassured them, saying that he was just hungry. As a result, the Andrews headed to their car in the parking garage. Apparently, Edward was stumbling around, and although his wife begged him not to drive home, he did so anyways. They were last seen driving down Michigan Avenue against traffic. Police thought at first that maybe they'd driven off the road, since it seems like Edward may have been driving under the influence. But after searching roadsides and rivers, nothing turned up. They searched the couple's home, but there were no signs of foul play or theft. In 1994, police received a tip saying that they may have been murdered and that their bodies were in a car that was sunk in a pond. But nothing was found after searching this pond. As a result, the disappearance of the Andrews still remains a mystery. And in our number 1 spot, we have Kim Jong Un. There are so many theories out there about Kim Jong Un. Some say he died after a heart surgery that went wrong. Others say that he is isolating with the fear of catching the virus. But no one outside of North Korea knows where he is or what has happened to him. Rumors began after police noticed that Kim was absent from public events, official statements, and the state media. Kim was reported to be last seen on April 11th by the state media. On April 15th, he missed the birth anniversary of North Korea's founding father, his grandfather. This is a very important event for North Korea, and he has never once missed it. Then on April 25th, Kim missed another major event. It was the Military Foundation Day, where they had their annual parade. Again, he did not attend. As a result, the hashtag Kim Jong Un dead has been trending on social media. On top of that, according to media outlets in China and Japan, they believe that he has died or he is on his deathbed with no hope of surviving. Some even claim that he is in a vegetative state after his heart surgery went wrong. Lastly, a woman posted on the social media site Weibo saying that a very solid source told her that Kim is in fact dead. But what do you think? Has he died? And is North Korea covering it up? Or do you think he's simply just hiding out? Let me know in the comments below. Either way, we don't know where he disappeared to. And that's all for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shout out portion. I'll be shouting out comments for my video Top 10 Scary Internet Urban Legends Part 4. Electro Ninja 69 commented, anyone who looks at the picture of Smile Dog will suffer a tragic fate. Lindsay casually shows picture. Well, if I'm going down, you guys are all coming down with me. I'm kidding. It's not haunted for all I know. Let's hope not. Luna Moon Uvu commented, the Smile Dog. Slenderman, hey, stop talking about my dog. Hey, that's a scary duo. If Smile Dog was Slenderman's dog, can you imagine seeing both of them? R.I.P. You have no chance. The Omega commented, when I was 11, I saw a shadow run up my stairs, and the next day I saw one of my pictures cut up into pieces, and to this day it scares me. Okay, hate to break it to you, but my friend, I think you are haunted. Just kidding, but that's really scary. Like seeing a shadow, and next thing you know that a picture of, I'm assuming it's a picture of yourself, was just cut up, I'd be like, someone is out to get me. That's scary. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you.